Welcome everybody. I'm your host Dee Dee Verg from miraclesofmind.tv, and today it's my very special guest who I'm very fortunate to interview is Ron Eslinger. So welcome to the program.
Glad to meet you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Not a problem. So let's talk about the most miraculous things you've ever seen as a result of using hypnosis in your career. Can you share with us maybe some stories about clients that you've used hypnosis with that achieved the seemingly impossible?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen clients like for fibromyalgia and crips, of course, the things that are long-lasting, phantom limb pain, that these people have been in terrible pain for like 15, 20 years before I even see them, not even knowing that something like this was out there until they've talked to somebody, or I've done a talk at a Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club, Lions Club, and they say, well, could this possibly help me? Most of them have been the phantom limb pains because they just really do well. One lady that I saw from California had multiple surgeries, had her complex regional pain syndrome for over 6 years. It had come all the way from her ankle, now all the way up to her body. She had to have multiple surgeries. She had to have a spinal cord stimulator put in, which didn't work. So she had all these things. Her life was in a disaster. She was victimized from the surgeries that didn't work. She was couldn't do things with her family, and she was in her late 30s. She was like a extremely young person who had to go through all of this with a couple of kids, a husband, all these things going on that she could not partake of. She had had a couple of procedures done in Germany, one done down in Mexico after everything they'd tried out in California wasn't working. And she was just amazing because when she came to spend a week with me, when she left, she wasn't having to use a cane, she didn't have to use a walker, she was out ready to go hike and do things with the family. And it was amazing for her, so amazing that she actually came back, become a hypnotist.
Wow.
And that is now what she specializes in, is working with people on what she had her problems with. And she came to the pain course that I teach, and she took that model back, and she's very popular now as a specialist in that area.
So typically, if you're working with somebody like that who's had all these like traumas from surgery and a lot of pain, how many sessions would it take to at least bring that pain down to a functional level where the person could function out in the world?
No way knowing. Everybody is so different.
Okay.
Hypnosis kind of comes in stages. Some people are highly hypnotizable. Some people are not so hypnotizable, even though a lot of people say, well, I can't be hypnotized. What they're really saying is I'm not going to let you hypnotize me, because everybody can go into some state of relaxation or trance. So it depends. A highly hypnotizable person can actually make themselves worse by giving them suggestions that they're not feeling good, the pain is getting so bad, and this. Those people actually don't take that many sessions.
Okay.
Now you take somebody who is not very hypnotizable or moderately hypnotizable, so they take a little bit more time because it takes repetition to do this. Keep in mind, most of us use hypnosis on ourselves every day. If you're driving to work and you get there and you don't even remember passing this intersection, going across this bridge, that building, or whatever, you're still thinking. Well, when you're thinking, you're basically in an alpha state, so what you're thinking is now getting registered on a part of your brain called the limbic system, so you're actually changing your behaviors. I kind of make a joke, a lot of people get divorced when they're driving to work because they're thinking about all the bad things their spouse does. Some people get fired too, by the way. But the point is, you change your thinking, it changes a chemical component in the brain, or multiple chemical components, and that changes that behavior. So it all comes down to whatever you're thinking. So if I'm thinking, oh God, I dread tomorrow because I know I'm going to have a headache. Every time I do this, I get a headache. It's kind of like the guy I was talking about today. He kept saying that his job was a pain in the rear, and he ended up with this major painful thing called coxagodynia, which is pain at the bottom of your tailbone. And in hypnosis, when we talked about, okay, what do you think happened that made this happen? Let's talk to your subconscious in hypnosis. And it was because he kept saying to himself, this job is a pain in the rear. How many times have you said, this person's a pain in the neck? You get this gut-wrenching feeling. If you keep saying to yourself, I don't feel good, I feel bad, this is a pain, then your body is going to respond because it only does what you tell it.
So basically what you're saying is we hypnotize ourselves and they come to you to be dehypnotized.
Well, you got to dehypnotize them before you can rehypnotize them and get it fixed. Exactly. And really, that's what it is.
We hypnotize ourselves by our thought patterns and what we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
And at some level, you were mentioning this weekend that the mind-body level are one. They are the limbic system, and that is listening in to every thought we have and making it true.
Exactly. And then the spirit which goes there, which are the emotions.
Right.
Because you don't have any type of an emotional response until you have the thought first.
Sure.
Remember we talked about eating the lemon. If you think about eating a lemon, you still get the feeling and the salivation because the mind remembers what happened when you ate a lemon and it responds because it thinks you're actually eating the lemon. Try that if you don't believe me.
So for every thought we have, basically, there's a biochemical correspondent happening in our body.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just think about this. How many times have you thought about somebody that made you angry, and all of a sudden you get angry again?
You start to shake.
Or something that happened in your past that was really sad. Maybe a loved one passed on or something, and all of a sudden you have that gloomy feeling again.
Right.
But I can remember driving to work with my grandson when he was like a toddler and thinking about the things that he did that were so funny that they do at that age. And I knew the guy driving beside me thought I was crazy because I was laughing out loud.
Right, which is good for you. Many people have healed many diseases by laughing.
Well, let me tell you about something I did with him because he's had a lot of hypnosis, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Well, he came into me one day. He was 2.5, so age really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest person that I worked with was 93. So age really doesn't matter. So he comes in, he had these fever blizzards. Papo, it hurts. Papo, it hurts. Well, I said, here, let's take it away. So I just sit him in my lap. Now, one of the major things about hypnosis is intent. Mm-hmm. And he trusted me. So I said, here, let's just take it away and throw it over there. We'll just throw it over there. So the intent is, he trusts me that we're actually throwing it over there. Because at that age, they're only in theta brainwaves, so whatever you say is truth. He falls asleep. I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Well, the next day, I'm with him. It's on Saturday. We're watching cartoons together, and he's trying to drink out of a sippy cup, and Papo, it hurts. Papo, it hurts. Well, I said, here, let's take it away. And so we do this, and we do this. Well, a little while, he takes off and goes and plays. He's comfortable. He's drinking. About an hour later, he comes back, and he says, Papo, do this, because he had already learned that that was his medication. Now, 2.5. At age 3, on his birthday, we buy him a tricycle. Now, I know when he's out there driving it, or riding it in the driveway, he's going to turn it over. I learned that when I was in the 7th grade, because I used to watch Laugh-In, and they had this guy that kept turning over the tricycle, and the government did this really good research. And they found that it cost them $300,000 to realize that why tricycles turn over. Okay. All right. So he's riding, and yeah, it happens. He turns it over. So I'm getting ready to go up because I know he's going to get up crying. Mm-hmm. But what he does is he stands up and he starts doing this to his leg. Wow. To his leg. So he's become a self-healer. Okay, but I got to finish that. So now it's a few months later, my mother-in-law shows up. Well, you'd have thought I got the headache, but I didn't. It was my wife. So my wife goes to lay down, and Drake, he's my grandson. So he's out there, and all of a sudden he notices where she's gone, and I said, well, she's gone to lay down because she's got a headache. So then all of a sudden I lose him. Well, I go into the bedroom, she's on the bed, he's up on his knees over her, doing this to her to take her headache away. So I have a true healer. Okay.
So I'm sure you used it his whole life, have you not?
Well, up until age 16. And at 16, he comes to me and says, "Dad, I can do it myself."
Okay.
But up until then, in order to manipulate, to guide the way he saw things and how he did in school, I would tell him stories, which is hypnosis, as he was falling to sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
And he did really well. He got a really nice college scholarship for football. So
There you go. So your hard work paid off.
yeah, I got my money back.